All right, everybody, welcome. Yay! Let's have a fashion show. We're so excited to see all your faces out here joining us today to celebrate the Clothing Connection. I'm Angie Cole. I'm an education faculty member here at COCC.
And I'm Kim Vera. I'm on the OSU Cascades side of this. Go Beavs!
Woo! My husband said, "Oh, you're doing a slideshow?" And I was like, "Well, I am education faculty, so you all didn't know it. We will have a fashion show, but we're going to do a little education, a little telling of our story first. We promise we'll try to make it really short and sweet, but this is a passion project for the two of us. We want to tell you just a little bit about it." How many of you have been to the Clothing Connection before? Oh, yay! Awesome. Okay, so the word is slowly spreading. How many of you have donated to the Clothing Connection? Thank you. It only works because of that. We wanted you to have a little vision in case you haven't been up there. This is our new space, and Amy Howell and I started one just for our ed students in 2015 here at COCC, and we had an old faculty office, and we just collected clothes and gave it away at our spring conference every year. But we wanted a bigger space, and as we were searching for that, we realized
we were doing the same thing, but we have half of a supply closet. We have space concerns where we are, so we didn't have any space at all. And then she said, "I have space," and Daisy Lehman connected us. Thank you very much.
Yes, she did. So I remember it was COVID. We had a Zoom meeting. We were like, "Oh my gosh, we're in silos trying to do the same thing." We were trying to help students save that cost of dressing for field placements, interviews, work, school. And so we combined efforts. Dr. Betsy Julian was here at the time, and she gave us an old chemistry classroom. So if you haven't come up yet, you've got to come up. In fact, one of our MCs, Allison Murphy, created all of our graphic design for the show based on... She was inspired by some of the chemistry classroom look, like stuff that we were trying to cover up, and she thought it was cool, and we were like, "Oh, we just don't have an artistic vision." But now we're going to leave some of that. But we search, so students can come up and get 10 free items of clothing, gently used clothing that's donated every term. We also have a QR code on our posters, so if students can't make it into Bend, we can deliver it out to the branch campuses. We got to give a shout out to our volunteers. You want to talk about that?
Yes. Volunteers in the room, please stand up. Everybody give these angels a round of applause. Yes. They're the heart of the Clothing Connection, including both of our moms.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mom and Mom.
If you need a pick-me-up, you want to come up on a Wednesday or Friday when we're open, because so many students say, "Oh, I just feel better." Like, they lift your spirits, they greet you. It's fun. It's like my favorite part of the week. And we do, Emily chose to, we wave. We have our first ever intern, and that's been really fun. I had this slide up there because we have some partners that help train our volunteers. Last year we had our librarian, Kat Finney, give us some training on how to welcome our LGBTQ plus community, which we're really excited about. This year we had Elysian Coyle, who's part of our COCC team. She has retail background, and she came and talked to us about managing inventory. She is here. Wave, Elysian. Yay! Because we're not driven to do this because of fashion or retail experience. We're all about just helping students, so we have to pull in people that actually know what they're doing. And we got some really good tips. You want to talk about that?
Sure. So I ran into Andrew Lorish, who, if any of you go to OSU and have taken an art class, it may have been from Andrew. He does soft sculpture with his students, and I said, "We have a lot of ripped stuff that comes in. Some things have stains, and we do not want it to end up in the landfill. Can you do anything with it?" And he said, "Oh yeah." So he and his students created these items out of our rejects. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. This is my favorite, our hot dog earmuffs made out of cashmere.
On the very first slide was a puppet. You might have seen it. That was created by Carolyn Parker. She's one of our health instructors here, and she has this amazing puppet. There's a stop motion video that goes with it, and I'll try to post it on the website. It's very fun. But we love all the avenues that this has taken. In fact, last year, we're not an official part of our campuses yet, although we feel a ton of support from our campuses, but we haven't had an official budget. So we're like, how are we going to raise a little bit of money? And we're like, how about a fashion show? And it happened to be right by Earth Day. We're like, how about an Earth Day fashion show? It's resale, it's gently used items. And so that got the attention of our newly hired sustainability coordinator, Noelle Bell Copley. Where are you? I know she's here. Yes! I hadn't met her yet because of COVID. She noticed we had this space reserved, and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing for Earth Day? 'Cause you're in my space." And she said it nicely. She's a lovely person. But it opened this whole new world, and we've learned a lot. We're like, oh my goodness, not only does this help students, this helps our planet. And that's the piece you're going to hear about a little bit. We have a little bit to share with you. And on our website, that little arrow on the back, the last slide, we have a brand new link. If you search Clothing Connection on the COCC website, you'll find out everything you need to know about the Clothing Connection, including a whole bunch of information about sustainability and how we can better care for our planet and make intentional choices. And do you want to add to that? I sort of rambled on there.
You all need to know that the captain of this ship is Angie, and I'd like you to give her a round of applause. She is doing a fabulous job. Really, really great job. Yes.
It's total teamwork. That wasn't fair. This has just it's been such a pleasure to complement each other in this project. We are really excited to keep expanding the sustainability piece. In fact, once we realized, we're like, this is great for the planet, we've invited faculty and staff at both campuses can come and shop for 10 free items. We know educators don't make a ton of money, so this alleviates a little bit of financial burden for them too. And we want to share more about what we're learning about sustainable fashion. We're going to invite one of our amazing ed students, Nishita Spring, come on up, and she's going to share a little more with you.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming to the Clothing Connection Fashion Show. We're celebrating reuse and the Clothing Connection, where fashion meets responsibility. Did you know it takes about 500 years for plastic to break down, and that includes clothing that is made with synthetic material? So what does fashion have to do with it? Fashion is an industry just like any other that can be done in a polluting, destructive manner, or it can be done sustainably. Sustainable fashion refers to a clothing supply chain that is ecologically and socially responsible. Now is the opportunity to shift the industry and consumers away from the fast fashion model and towards sustainable practices in sourcing, production, distribution, marketing, and consumption. Unless you're a nudist, you wear clothes. We all wear clothes, and the choice you make matters. Has anyone heard of the term fast fashion? What is fast fashion? Fast fashion means clothing companies that rely on cheap and fast production of low-quality clothing to meet clothing trends. Fast fashion encourages excess consumption, and people discard items because of their low quality. Some brands that use fast fashion model are H&M, Gap, Adidas, and Forever 21. Businesses don't have a reason to stop because they are profitable. It's up to us, the consumers, to avoid fast fashion brands. Some of you may have noticed the United Nations logo in the corner. Now, this isn't what you think of when you think fashionista. It's an environmental issue and it's a human rights issue. For Earth Day, we're focusing on the environment. How does fast fashion affect the planet? The fashion industry accounts for 10% of global carbon emissions and 20% of global wastewater from textile dyeing. Fast fashion requires a lot of water for growing crops, dyeing fabrics, and processing material. Consumer behavior like frequent washing also contributes to water pollution and depletion. So what can we do? Shop secondhand. COCC offers the Clothing Connection as a resource for students, and it is having a huge impact on our local environment by keeping discarded textiles out of not landfill. And as you should all know, the not landfill has become a landfull. So Deschutes County is currently citing for a new landfill. This is a community issue. Americans discard 32 billion pounds of textiles every year, which is equivalent to 80 pounds of clothing, bedding, bags, towels, and etc. per person. Some of the clothing does come from stores tossing unsold inventory or outdated items. The Environmental Protection Agency calculates that 85% of unwanted textiles end up in the landfill, unfortunately with only 15% being reused or recycled. Let's change those numbers. On a brighter note, we are celebrating Earth Day, and there is a sense of hope and action. So what else can we do? Sustainable fashion doesn't mean buying expensive clothes or only wearing hemp. It's so much more. The point is, you can all feel positive about your support of sustainability through resources like the Clothing Connection and secondhand shops. What's the next clothing item you'll pick? Just like reduce, reuse, and recycle for paper and cans, there is a hierarchy for fashion too. First, how to be a more conscious consumer. Reduce. Not saying you can't shop, but to shop smart and buy a little less. You can do things like loan or borrow clothes from family and friends. You can invest in higher quality items, allowing you to buy less, and sustainable fashion doesn't mean expensive. You can still buy high quality items secondhand at a more doable price. Reuse. Shop secondhand. Again, COCC offers the Clothing Connection, and OSU Cascades offers the Clothing Connection as an amazing secondhand resource, as well as many other consignment shops locally to Central Oregon. Also, online secondhand stores like Facebook Market or clothing apps like Depop. And donating whatever you don't use is also a great form of reuse. Care-conscious laundering. The way you care for your clothes also matters, like washing your clothes less, using a cold water setting instead of a hot water setting, switching to a plastic-free detergent. They now have a detergent that comes in a little sheet form, and it's a lot more compact. The packaging is recyclable, and you can also hang dry your clothes as much as possible. And if the hang drying your clothes doesn't set well, you could always hang dry your clothes and then put them in the dryer on tumble dry to eliminate like the crunchies of your clothes and towels. Mend. Many of the reasons we discard things are because there's a hole in the fabric or we don't like it. And if you don't like it, you can always turn it into a rag or a dog toy. Yep, a rug. And so here are some alternative routes you can take to care for damaged clothing. Learn to sew, buttons or repairs. And the Clothing Connection offers this. Volunteers will do this service for free, as well as companies like GearFix. And the OSU Cascades Student Government and the Environmental Center are hosting the Repair Cafe in the Ray Hall Atrium at OSU Cascades. I believe it's April 26th at 5:30. The Repair Cafe is a global event where volunteers come together and they'll fix broken items for the community. And it's totally free, so I highly suggest going and checking it out. And upcycle. Get creative. Make new items out of old things. Like I said, you can use old socks and turn them into dog toys. You can also reuse an old long sleeve shirt and turn the sleeves into leg warmers. You can do a lot of DIY projects like scrunchies or zipper pouches, and there's so much more. Lastly, recycle. It's not advertised, but Goodwill and other donation centers do take rags. For things that they don't sell, they find markets for, so they don't have to pay to the landfill. Again, remember, the only time fabric should go into the landfill is if it has been used to clean grease or oil. So if it hasn't been used for grease or oil, it still has a purpose. I've also heard that some people use old socks for bike repairs. Again, the Environmental Center is our local resource for all things sustainability. They have blog posts that address all of this and more with links to local resources. Tons of reuse and upcycling ideas. Just search old clothes on the Environmental Center's website. Let's be honest though, we all love shopping, and again, we are not nudists, we wear clothes. So when you're shopping, you can keep in mind some of the best fabrics for environmental and health reasons. Some of the best fabrics to choose from are organic cotton, organic linen, modal, hemp, pea silk, wool, bamboo, and lyocell, which is a wood pulp, mainly from oak, birch, and eucalyptus trees. Some companies like Patagonia and Athleta are vetting their materials, production methods, and the whole picture to be as sustainable as possible. And you can find other companies that are more sustainably sourced at bcorporation.net. Like most things with environmentalism, do what you can, do your part, get involved, vote with your dollar, and keep educating yourself on the topic. There are many books, YouTube videos, and other resources. The largest impact really will be from industry and politics. EarthDay.org has lots of information about fashion, plus a fun quiz to test your knowledge and a ton more information. Here we have some statistics from the month of October from the Clothing Connection on clothing items that students have rehomed and kept out of the landfill. It looks like for the month of October, the total was almost 600 items. So let's keep those numbers growing. So the Clothing Connection is a free resource for all COCC and OSU students, OSU Cascade students. And for COCC at the Bend location, the Clothing Connection is located in Otrico Hall, and then for the Redmond campus, it's located in the RTech building upstairs. And then there will also be monthly pop-ups at OSU Cascades. There's going to be fun giveaways, and donations are accepted. Don't forget to stop by the Sustainable Fashion Table to check out what we have. And Ben and Allison are going to be our fashion show MCs. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thanks to everybody for being here. My name's Allison Murphy. I'm a student here at COCC.
Awesome. I'm Ben Hutchins. I'm a student over at OSU Cascades. Go Beavers.
Go Bobcats. We will eat you. Just kidding. All right, are you guys ready to see some amazing outfits? Well, we're excited to introduce you to each of our models and kind of give a brief rundown about what each of them are wearing. And let's get this party started. All right, our first model tonight is a COCC student. Her name is Maristine Alexander. She is wearing an outfit she calls Feel Good Chic. A Banana Republic dress, Ralph Lauren jean jacket, vintage pearl bracelets, pearl necklace, sunglasses, and some chic black hiker boots. When she is not upcycling sweaters for her two cats to wear, she is learning Mandarin. She picks up garbage, wears upcycled clothing, she recycles, and she's not loving her planet. She sings, writes songs, paints, dances, and bakes. Thank you, Maristine.
My next model is Rebecca Franklin. forestry program. Her look today is an orange wraparound skirt and white silky blouse from Banana Republic. Brown leather boots flourish with a sun hat, a great look for the beach or an evening out. All available at Clothing Connection. Her passions are visiting with friends, road trips and cooking for friends, skiing and playing music. She loves Mother Earth by learning about the different areas she visits.
Next, we have another COCC staff member, Cresta Morris. Cresta picked this outfit out at the Clothing Connection, inspired by the fact that she would wear this to work. She's wearing a ghillie skirt, a daydale top, zebra shoes, magnetic jewelry, and a really, really fun little scarf. It reminds me of moss. Perfect for Earth Day. Cresta is an avid recycler and in fact considers herself a guru. So if you need any recycling tips, hit her up.
Next we have Haley Young. Haley is with the Baking and Pastry with the Culinary Institute. Her look today is bright red and cream long sleeve flowery dress, fun red lace flats, red clutch, all ready for a fun date night. Her passions are cooking food whenever possible. She loves to draw and sketch people and characters. She loves Mother Earth by being an observer and looking at the beauty of our planet.
Thank you, Haley. Our next model is Willow Colliander. She is a COCC student with a psychology program. She is wearing a flowy blue and white dress, perfect for an afternoon at the coast, with a sky blue scarf with a bit of sparkle. And she loves hanging out with her friends. She loves gardening and being social. She only purchases clothes that have been thrifted or are secondhand. And I think we all agree with Willow that we have too much mass-produced clothing in this world.
Our next model is Aisha Macy. Aisha is an arts program student at COCC. In the spirit of Earth Day, she's celebrating by wearing color today. Her blouse is by Dress Barn, a vintage skirt with a woven purse added. She's a creative spirit who sings, dances, paints, and makes pottery. She plans to transfer her art degree to the American Indian Art Institute. She loves Thank you, Alicia.
We have another COCC student next, Blake Henderson. He picked this outfit out from the Clothing Connection with Elk Lake in mind. Hawaiian shirt, khaki shorts, chacos, sunglasses, a straw hat. And do you have a chain necklace on? Yes, a chain necklace. When he's not biking to get from one place to another, he's running, weightlifting, biking, and just shredding his stuff. I think that's called upcycling. So you get to pick it up.
Paige Winslow. Paige is a student at COCC and OSU Cascades. Look today is a perfect outfit for grabbing brunch with the CEO of Burberry. A sheer white blouse, plaid pencil skirt, and black knee-high boots, all from the Clothing Connection. She's passionate about climbing, skiing, hiking, biking, crocheting, and hanging out with friends and family. Next up, we have Madison Rica. Madison is a student at COCC. Her look today is what Gwen Stefani's manager would wear. all from the Clothing Connection. Tailored plaid trousers, textured linen button-down blouse, and leather librarian heels. She loves animals, volunteer farming, fashion photography, and aliens. Thank you so much, Madison.
I'm sure you all have noticed that there are racks outside, and those are compliments of some secondhand stores in the area, and we are so lucky to have them have sponsored models, and we have on the runway tonight, and we have our first one up next. So Leah Zuger is our first model for Nikki's Nearly New. She's wearing a cute crop top, a brightly colored crocheted shawl from a local artist, Jennifer Preston, neon yellow corduroy trousers, Birkenstocks, and a fun sun hat. She loves yoga, she loves being kind, and she really loves chocolate chip pancakes.
Nikki's Nearly New, formerly known as Bag Ladies, has been in location for 35 years, and they're carrying on a tradition of women's consignment. Up next, also with Nikki's Nearly New, give it up for Andrew Lee. Andrew is gracing us tonight with the Black Fry loafers, vintage diesel light wash blue jeans, Columbia black leather belt, Honey Punch floral lace top, and an Andrew Mark black leather jacket. Andrew is passionate about macaroni and cheese, and he will fight you for it. Thank you, Andrew.
Our third model from Nikki's Nearly New is Betsy Sandstrom. She is wearing a poppy red colored suit. Do you have suede pumps on? You have leather pumps on. Anyway, you look great. I got a different description on my card, so let's just revel in this red beauty. Betsy loves thrifting, wearing secondhand, and quality clothes. Obviously, she has great taste, and she also rides horses. Nikki's Nearly New is in the... Did you say that already?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm just going to remind you guys again. Y'all know where Bag Ladies used to be? Okay, that's Nikki's Nearly New now. So they also have men's now. So, yeah, okay.
Up next from another one of our amazing sponsors tonight, Revival Vintage, we have our first model, Christine Ransom. Christine's look today is safari chic. She's wearing a vintage Coach leather boots, 90s leopard and sunflower cowl neck top, a 90s accordion pleat skirt, and a Palm Gambler hat. Christine's passionate about landscape architecture, making soap, and walking her puppy. She loves Mother Earth by worrying about pollution in water, limiting her use of plastics, and making art out of junk. Thank you so much, Christine.
Revival Vintage is located on Division in the Apatati building. It was established in 2019. You can find curated vintage clothing, accessories, homewares, and locally made goods. Our next model from Revival Vintage is Nishita Spring. Y'all have already met her tonight. She is wearing a multi-generational 70s style, think positive, beach top and 90s wide leg jeans, locally made pine cone earrings, and the ever classic Birkenstock.
And our final model with Revival Vintage is Sophie Cloyd. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
It was so nice. She walked twice.
Sophie Cloyd, ladies and gentlemen. Sophie's look today is her early 2000s nude high-low dress, 1970s leather boots with pockets, and a fedora, and 1930s glass bead necklace. Sophie's passionate about photography, karaoke, And she has an 80s movie podcast with her sister called Silver Screen Sisters.
Revival Vintage not only has clothes, but they have mid-century furniture, locally made art, and jewelry. You can reach out to them for consignment appointments. Our third sponsor this evening and on our runway is Truffle Pig Trading Co. We have Alana Cole. She's wearing a fabulous two-piece look covered in strawberries with a rattan Kate Spade purse. Alana has been a volunteer for the Clothing Connection, and she worked for Truffle Pig Trading Co. last summer. Yes.
Truffle Pig Trading Co. is a consignment shop hidden in downtown Bend, right behind the Wells Fargo Bank in the alley. Yeah, Revival?
Yeah, they're on Division in the
Division.
Hospitality building. Yeah, across. So somebody wanted some clarification where Revival Vintage is. So it's on Division, which is a weird little street, but it's basically across from Boneyard Pub, the new Boneyard, if y'all know where that is. Yeah.
Our next model with Truffle Pig is Rosemary Cole. Rosie has also been a volunteer at the Clothing Connection. She's channeling the 90s in an Urban Outfitters dress paired with Doc Martens and a vintage 90s monogram Coach hat.
Truffle Pig's mission is to redefine secondhand into a coveted shopping category. They sell premium secondhand clothing, accessories, home goods, and it's curated in a way that makes the customer forget their shopping consignment. Sign me up. Our third and final model for Truffle Pig is Emma Nickel. She is wearing a vintage metallic embroidered trouser, a silver asymmetrical tank top, leather jacket, silver heels, a black purse, vintage necklace, and you don't have a headband on. But you got that beautiful halo of red hair. Emma just moved here from Washington, D.C. She's new to Bend. I think she's loving it. And her passion is obviously fashion. She has a personal styling business too, so seek her out afterwards if that's something that y'all need. Okay. Oh, hold on.
Alright, well, since you've all been staring at us all night, you'll be happy to know we are also wearing clothes from the Clothing Connection, Allison and I. So introducing Allison Murphy, our amazing MC. Please give it up. Allison's look today is a casual stage presence. A linen coat, vintage sequin silk tank from the Clothing Connection, cotton twill pants made by herself. Ladies and gentlemen. And leather boots made in the United States of America. Her passions are raising proteins for Central Oregon, pigs, chickens, rabbits, turkeys, reading books, sewing for herself and her community through her business.
Utility Sewing and Design.
Utility Sewing and Design.
Okay, yeah. And this is Ben Hutchins. And you know what? He just had a birthday. So Ben is wearing a button-up shirt, which is actually short sleeve, in case anybody wants to buy a car. A sports jacket, dress pants, a reversible belt tie, and dress shoes, all from the Clothing Connection, and also completely styled by our amazing volunteer, Pat Fulton. Ben is majoring in business administration at OSU Cascades with a minor in sustainability. And we're just so glad you're here tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. That was our fashion show. What did you guys think? So we just want to point out a couple other sponsors that we have this evening. You keep waving, and I love it so much. Hello. So We have coffee in the lobby with some cookies. The coffee is from Lone Pine Coffee Roasters. They have 2 cafes in Bend. One is on Harriman. The other is up across from the hospital. Such delicious coffee, such amazing staff, and really, really beautifully designed cafes. So please support them and what they do. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that 2 of the chairs that are in the Harriman Cafe, I reupholstered.
I'd also like to give a huge thank you to Cascade Culinary Institute. They offer Associate of Applied Science degrees and certificates in baking and pastry arts, culinary arts, hospitality management. They offer a variety of classes, public offerings, and a ton of enrichment activities that everyone can take a part of.
And they made our cookies tonight. So cookies and coffee, everybody. So another big shout out to our event sponsors, Lone Pine Coffee Roasters, Truffle Big Trading Co., Nikki's Nearly New, Newport Avenue Market, Boardworks Climbing, Revival Vintage Bends. And to all of you. Oh yeah. We'd love to see the models one more time. How about y'all? And we're going to do a group photo. Or we were supposed to do that when we were doing that. I'm super flushed right now. I think I'm in with Thank you so much, models.
Yeah, thank you so much to all of our
We're so
models.
grateful that you're here. Just a note, all of this is volunteer. So like all of these lovely people volunteered their time for rehearsal, and then for tonight, and then a second show tonight, and then just all of it is volunteers. So thank you for coming and witnessing all the work that everybody put in.
Wasn't that so much fun? Yay! We just have a couple little thank yous. If you'll indulge us, we'll try to be really quick. But again, I mentioned this earlier. Allison Murphy did all the fashion show promo when she's a student. She's very good. Thank you to our models. We just want to say quick, I can't run through all these names, but we felt so much support on both of our campuses. So many people, from tickets to Caitlin Gardner's our photographer. She's also our admin assistant in campus services. People that just wear so many hats, and as soon as we mentioned this event, we've had such camaraderie with our colleagues. So thank you for all of the support. I introduced you to Emily earlier. She doesn't know I put this up. She's not going to like it at all. Of course, we want students who are passionate about sustainability and education. Emily came to us. She has a passion for fashion, and she's going places. She just got into the Fashion Institute in New York, so give her a round of applause. This is just a quick visual of some of the faces that have helped make this happen. And Kim, you want to talk about your slide too? We can't go through all the names, but you know who you are. This wouldn't happen without you.
Yeah, big thank you to OSU Cascades, especially the Business Club officers who are here, and also our College of Business.
If you want to know any more information, like I I mentioned earlier, go to the COCC website, search for the Clothing Connection. You can send us an email. You can get all kinds of info. And right now, we're really excited. We have a little pop-up event. And forgive us because we had slides for all of our resale partners, and we'll do that tonight. But they've been amazing. We don't know them well. We sort of were like, hey, do you want to come and do a pop-up event? They all took a chance. Rissa from Truffle Pig is going to be out in the lobby selling some of her goods. You can come talk to her, find out more about her shop. Olivia and I think maybe Shasta are here from Revival Vintage. They have a little table out there. And then the Clothing Connection has a table where if you want to do a little shopping and leave us a donation, that's part of how we're trying to raise a little money tonight. We're suggesting maybe $5 an item, and there's some really good stuff. We can't thank you enough. Thanks for all of you for coming and supporting us.
Thank you so much. I just want to again say, Angie, you're the best. Awesome.